right, shall we officially commence?
Oh, we've
Let's
already
commence.
started. This is the official podcast. We've been in it.
Okay.
We actually just finished.
Yeah,
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, the podcast is over now. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hope you had a good day. What are you up to today, Sam?
All right, so let's. Okay, there's an important thing we should start this off with. Are you guys gonna play the Oblivion remaster?
Ooh. We were looking at the trailer yesterday.
I'm so torn.
They stealth dropped it, which is so
I
crazy.
mean, not really.
Yes,
It's been rumored for the last 6 months.
Well, sure, but then there was like a little leak.
There's been leaks.
And then I was like, oh, a leak. So when is that? I wonder when that's coming out. But then it was just like, oh, the trailer's out. Cool. And then I didn't even realize after watching the trailer, it was actually on Steam, ready to download. And I'm
It says
so
available
freaking
now.
torn because I wanted to play Kingdom Come Deliverance, but Oblivion.
Oh, here we are again.
Like the classic of that.
But Oblivion is the best game.
Yeah.
It's the best. It's the best game.
Oblivion was the only Elder Scrolls game I 100%ed.
Yeah.
Like, I put a lot of time into Skyrim, a ton of time. Love Skyrim, but Oblivion was the one I actually spent an entire summer completing every single side quest, doing every single thing. I literally got 1,000 gamer score on the Xbox with that game.
That's
The
impressive.
story, like
gamer
the
score.
setting is so much better. I mean, Skyrim's fun, but like Oblivion was so much better. It was so much more open ended. It's like you weren't some like freaking guy who screams runes and crap. You know, it's like they didn't force you into this like
I haven't actually
barbarian
seen the trailer
Viking
yet.
quest thing.
It's crazy.
I heard it had
And
dropped
Patrick
yesterday.
Stewart doing the VO.
Freaking Patrick
It's-
Stewart popping in with the VO. Like, okay,
Well, he did the first one. I mean,
It's
no,
so
he did the
good.
original.
It's so good.
Is this a
no,
new
no,
VO?
I know.
Closing
What I really liked about Oblivion was that, like, you'd be going along, all of a sudden there's this portal to hell. And you're like, whoa, what the heck?
It's pretty sick. And also, I think it arguably had some of the best DLC of any game I've ever played, too.
That's what Nick was saying yesterday. He goes, he finished all the DLC.
The DLC for that, where you're going into, like, I don't even remember the name of it, but the wacky mushroom world with, like, the...
Yeah, the Shimmering Isles. Was
Shagger
that what it was?
Gorath or whatever his name is. That's the name of, like, the evil god in the game or something like that. Incredible. It's totally mind-blowing. And,
Well-
like, I mean, even with Skyrim, they tried to follow it up. All the DLC, they had, like, the werewolf or vampire DLC and
Yeah.
stuff for it. And it's like, it's all right. It's cool. But, like,
here's,
yeah, I don't know.
here's what I'm thinking to help you frame your decision here. You enjoyed Oblivion when it came out, when that was the peak of graphics, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't installed...
So to you, your
Yeah.
experience was already this. It was already the peak of the moment.
Yeah.
And you were adjusted to that.
Yeah.
You'll only ever match that experience with new graphics.
True.
Whereas Kingdom Come Deliverance is a whole new adventure available to you. Right? Like
Yeah.
this to me, I never played Oblivion. I touched on it. I was more a Skyrim guy.
Wait, it comes out with the Mushroom Kingdom?
With I think all the
Yeah,
DLC.
all the DLCs.
All
Yeah.
included.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
So for me, having never played it fully, it's all a new adventure.
So
which
my
makes it
Same.
more
my
attractive.
concern about Oblivion is that I'm worried the gameplay is going to feel dated. You know, it's like I'm not.
So they-
I don't care
they-
too much about the graphics.
When you
The
watch
graphics look great, sure.
If you watch the trailer, they're like, "Oh yeah, we updated all the gameplay, so that way it's like smooth and normal again." Like for instance, when you were
Well,
like going, you saw this stuff, right? They're like, so they show how previously when you like forage for stuff, you just find a random mushroom and click it, and then it just says you took it. And now they finally go like, "Oh, when you forage something, like the thing like gets plucked off the ground, and like there's an actual there's feedback there." And so I guess after seeing that, I was just like, look, they probably have gone through and, well, I mean, it's a new engine and everything. They've had to modernize the whole dang thing.
I guess what I'm getting at is like the gameplay theory itself, like the gameplay design, because that was my biggest disappointment about going back and replaying some of the earlier Halo games. Is that like simple stuff like I miss sprinting.
It's just clunky.
You know, it's like, oh wow,
They added sprinting.
okay. I'm just saying as an example of
They literally
what's-
added sprinting into the game.
Not my point, Sam.
They have sprinting. I don't see
I
this.
can counter. Don't worry, I've got a list. This is why I
That is
have the
the
laptop.
presentation.
All my debate notes.
I'm just saying is like they made a lot of like gameplay improvements between Oblivion and Skyrim that makes like the gameplay itself a little bit more interesting and fun, and I don't know what those could be. Maybe I'm like I said, it's just a concern. I don't know if it's actually justified or anything, but like I said, I remember absolutely loving Oblivion. It was an incredible game, so I'm intrigued. But that being said, I don't really have time for any games these days.
Well, okay. Well, we all know why. But the point is, here's why Oblivion is still the best. And we all know why. I know you have a very big event that's coming up. We'll tell everyone what that is in a moment. Well, here's why I think Oblivion is the best one, and it's also probably one of the best RPGs. They don't have objective icons in Oblivion. That was another thing, very specifically, because I was replaying it last year because my kids got into
Oblivion?
it. Yeah, Oblivion has a compass on the top of your screen that has little markers on it.
Yeah.
So you can orient yourself and go, oh, it's over that way.
Yeah.
But there's not a floating icon in your field of view.
That makes it easier to tell.
Yes, which
Or,
is
like, in your way.
which I personally think is one of the laziest, most distracting, most game-ruining features you can have.
Unimmersive.
Is a floating icon in your field of vision. So rather than looking at an environment or navigating it or playing a game, you just get this little floating icon and you just like mindlessly walk towards it. Like that's not gameplay. It's not fun. It's not interesting. It's like nobody should do that in games.
That was a big reason why a lot of people liked Elder Ring.
Elden Ring?
Elden Ring. God dang
Yeah.
it. Friggin' blanked on that name for a moment. Yeah, because Elden Ring goes to the extreme opposite of that, where it's like
Zero
they give
direction.
you nothing, and you just kind of have to try to. It's like effort to try to find where you need to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
That
mean,
was
all the Dark Souls for that matter.
that was
Yeah,
exactly
fair.
my experience, and it was Demon or Dark Souls. I can't remember, one of the really early ones, and I didn't know what I was signing up for. And I didn't know where I was going. I was just wandering, trying to figure out what was going on. Ended up in this pitch black cave, didn't have a torch or anything. And it basically became a game breaking thing for me where, 10 hours in, I was just lost and alone in a cave.
Yeah.
And just surrounded,
Oh,
because I
boy.
had so I literally had to start a whole new game.
Oh,
because I couldn't
man,
get out of
that's
it. And I
a
was like, oh, I
bummer.
need to be a little more sensible with this stuff, which
That's
is
sick.
rewarding in its own way.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, real quick. I just want to take a quick break here. I want to talk about today's sponsor, Rokoko. Yes, they're the guys who make the motion capture suits that we use here at the studio. You might remember the recent stop motion video Daniel and I did where I got up in that motion capture suit and did all the animation. Well, they've got a really cool bundle, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. The Smart Suit Pro 2 is their flagship product. Essentially, it's the whole motion capture suit. It's real time, lag free, and it works just off of Wi-Fi. Anywhere Wi-Fi can reach, you got like 100 meters of range. It's got really accurate motions. It's very good. We used it on the recent video where I motion captured a bunch of stuff for the stop motion video. The smart gloves are also pretty sick. They allow you to get precision tracking with your fingers and your hands. You could do all kinds of stuff like that. We used it again on that video. It seamlessly integrates into the rest of the suit and the system. They're comfortable, they're lightweight, they fit really nicely. And also there's the face capture rig, which is basically like a little strap that goes around your head and it has these little rods that come out to hold a phone. So it can actually record your face motion and integrate that into the rest of the performance capture that you're doing. And of course, all of this works with the Rokoko Studio app, and the indie bundle that they're offering here actually includes an entire 1 year of a subscription service, or a 1 year subscription plan for all of this. And all of this comes out to under $3,000, which is 40% off the listed price for all this stuff individually. And that's honestly a pretty legitimate deal. So to recap, you get the Smart Suit Pro 2, the smart gloves, the face capture rig, and a year's subscription to Rokoko Studio Plus. All for under $3,000, which is 40% off, which is a very good deal. But on top of that, you can get additional savings if you use our code Corridor5, which will get you an additional 5% off, adding up to a total of 45% savings. That's nearly half off. Dang. All you gotta do is click that link in the description and use our code Corridor5 to get the extra 5% on the already pretty solid 40%. 45% off. Anyway, this is it's exciting to get a sponsor here on the podcast, especially from someone we love like Rokoko. So consider it. We use them stuff. We use them stuff a lot. All right, keeping that in the ad read. Thanks for listening to this little ad read here for you guys. I think it's time to maybe get back to talking about some video games. What'd you say? All right.
Sucked in the moment.
Did
but-
anyone play Morrowind? Did you play Morrowind?
Beat the crap out of that game. Yeah, same thing. DLCs, all that.
Yeah,
I bought that game like 3 times too.
Oh, wow.
I've already bought Oblivion like 3 times, which is crazy. Am I gonna buy it a 4th time? I don't know.
That's so funny.
I mean, the first time I beat it was a pirated copy, and then I bought the Game of the Year copy for Xbox
Okay, yeah,
360, and I beat that. So actually, no, I've only bought it twice because now I own it on PC already too again. But
Wait, but-
damn, dude.
Wait, you own it on PC because of the pirated version?
No,
you
I
got?
pirated it and beat it, and then I bought the game of the year for Xbox 360 and
Oh,
beat
so that's
that.
what you mean. You bought it. You purchased
And now
it twice.
bought it again on PC
You've acquired it
like 2
3
years
times.
ago.
And now you'd have to buy the.
Now I have to buy it again.
I might get the remaster just because I am intrigued.
So freaking sick! It's such a good game.
I'm so curious though why you guys think they continue to do these remaster things versus making a new game.
I think
Obviously,
they
you
are
have-
making a new game.
And you think this is like
They're a big
The
company. They got
precursor.
like teams.
okay? They got it makes sense. But do you think this is like the initial test for this new system and workflow? And they're like, hey, if it works with this, then it'll work for a larger game, or
I don't know.
I wonder if
Yeah.
they're I mean, because it's all in Unreal 5, so it would the implication would be that their next game is going to be on Unreal 5, which is likely. Considering Unreal 5 is kind of peaking right now between what Nvidia is doing and Unreal 5's like features like Lumen and the nanite stuff. They also have a new thing that just came out called like mega meshes or something like that. They have mega lights, and now there's mega meshes. Basically, it's getting to a point where there's like no limitations anymore. Previously, like the like for instance, like Lumen. Yeah, exactly. So
but
Mega
is that
meshes
different?
are a way to handle extremely large and detailed 3D models, even those with billions of polygons, without performance issues.
Wasn't this the same as nanite? Though?
No,
no,
that sounds like nanite.
nanite is like, okay, I've got a giant mesh that I can basically we're optimizing it automatically as we're moving in and out. But the mega meshes, what it's doing, I'm pretty sure it's optimizing it for like the ray tracing and Lumen stuff. So now instead of like the actual like optimization just for the physical model happening, it's maintaining like proper like ray tracing and global illumination and reflections with those types of objects.
Wait, does nanite not work with ray tracing?
So for instance, Lumen is like cool. Let me explain. Well, here it's kind of we'll work our way to that.
Okay.
But with like Lumen, for instance, you're using it for global illumination and reflections and stuff like that. The problem being, because it's like this optimized geometry, sometimes you're not going to get like crisp and clear reflections. Like you're not going to get like just a mirror like finish on an object because the reflections are being built by these optimized meshes. And so with mega meshes, if I'm not mistaken, that's one of the things that kind of fixes now is you can straight up just have like flawless mirrors now in these games, because you can have your high poly photo scans and your high detailed global illuminations, and now even though you're not directly viewing the objects, they are being processed through like all the other like reflection and lighting stuff in the scene basically. I don't know if that really makes sense, and in fact I don't even have the best grasp on it, but effectively between all these systems finally working, it's kind of like you can just have what look like physically rendered environments just kind of running in real time.
Costiantin said Mega Mesh is mostly to solve the ray tracing issue.
Okay, there we go.
Animated meshes that are ray traced. So that's very interesting. All the optimization stuff inside of Unreal just boggles my brain. It's just the coolest thing.
Super mega everything. That's what it's just called. Unreal 6 is just called Super Mega Unreal.
It's kind of funny though. Whenever because I got into Unreal a little bit last year, and it's hard to describe because it reminded me of the early days of learning 3D for me, when I was like learning how to use Mental Ray or V-Ray, and it's not just like an unbiased type renderer like Octane where you just throw it in and it just works.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, you have to basically like twiddle all these little settings until you finally get something that is the right mix between good enough and fast enough. And you're like, okay, I need a little bit more quality, so I'm going to dial up this one notch from 19 to 20, but now my render time has doubled.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's literally 50 settings you got to know how to optimize to get it to look good, but not take a million years to render. Whereas then, like, when I got into Octane, that changed everything because it's like I didn't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah.
Just like I drop in the thing, I drop in a light, and it just looks great.
And it looks awesome.
Yeah,
It's super fast.
exactly. Well, you're no longer faking things anymore, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just like, I want a light there, and I want a chrome sphere here, and I want the light to bounce off the sphere onto the ground, how it would. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But then,
yeah.
but with Unreal Engine, you kind of go back to that. You're having to fake. It's obviously a game engine that is very good and modern now. But like you're still having to make a lot of those compromises on quality so that you can keep it fast or whatever.
Yeah,
and
like,
you have to know which ones you can change. Be like, all right, I can take a little bit longer to render here, but I don't know off the top of my head what those settings would be, and you have to just kind of like know those.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's getting close though. I mean, like when you're using it for like an unoptimized scene though, for like the virtual production sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of at that point though now where I feel like you throw anything you want at it and it looks right, even though it's in a real-time renderer.
Sure, yeah.
The moment
I mean, that's been the whole like
Yeah.
attraction to Unreal is that like look how easy it is to do all this crazy stuff and still have it look pretty good.
Yeah. That being said, for when you're actually doing game design, I think the optimization stuff, yeah, there's still quite a bit of that you have to do.
Of course. Yeah, if you're making games, the whole game is optimization.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, legit.
Very, very, very crazy.
It's a different world.
Yep. It's super crazy.
The game I've been playing more recently, just every now and then when I get time, is Horizon Forbidden West.
I still need to play
specifically the DLC for it, like Burning Shores. It basically takes place here in LA.
Wait, really?
1,000 years from now.
Oh, that's cool.
I love the games. The first game was definitely better than the second, even though the second's gameplay is a lot better. I take it neither of you played it.
Nope.
I've played the first one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's been on my to-do list for the longest time to play the second.
The second game is really cool. Like the gameplay mechanics are a lot more streamlined. It's a lot better. So there's more robots. There's a lot more weapon variety, and it's just like it's more fun to play. The story, huge letdown.
Really?
Well, the
that's a bummer.
first game's
The
story was
it
incredible. It was just such a really cool story, and like the world building, the justification for why all these giant robots are designed after animals or dinosaurs and stuff like that. It was just a really, really cool idea. And the second game it was going in a really cool direction, and then it kind of just like at the end of it, I was just like, this sucked. What the hell just happened?
What a bummer.
Yeah.
For me, I have the curse of I need to replay all the games in the series when the new one comes out.
Really?
Or at least I used to when I had a little more free time. I have a boxing match coming up for those of you who don't know. Yeah, I used to always go back and play all the games in sequence and then play the new one. So it was like, it really felt, okay, I've earned it, I'm here. And so I tried that with Horizon Zero Dawn. That's the first one, right?
Yeah, Zero Dawn.
And I've replayed it 3 times, but up to like the 30-hour mark, and then just like lost interest. And so I'm like, oh, now I got to start over. And I'm like, just play the next one.
That was my
It's fine.
thing, especially with going back and rewatching like older seasons of a show before the new one would come out, or with like trying to go back and playing the first game before playing the second game, etc. Is that I worry that I will burn myself out on the experience before I even get to the new one. So now I'm just like, all right, if I want to bring myself up to date on the story, I'm just gonna watch some recap videos on YouTube.
I did that with
Yeah.
Spider-Man. I did that with the new Spider-Man game. That's what I'm doing right now.
Recap on YouTube.
Because I also was going to get Kingdom...
New Spider-Man game was so good.
Yeah, I was also going to get... What is it? Kingdom Come Deliverance?
2.
2?
Those.
Two?
Just
I was also going to do it with that, and then I pivoted. I was like, while I make my decision, I'm going to play Spider-Man. So that's my filler game right now, but it's fantastic.
Spider-Man is a great filler game.
It's a excellent filler game.
Just swinging around
But
New
yeah.
York. It's the best.
It's just the commitment.
Yeah,
Such
the
a
new
big
Spider-Man
commitment.
game was so much fun because I loved the first one. The second one, like again, towards the end, it started kind of feeling a little like
Yeah.
weird when the whole city got taken over by symbiotes, and I was just like, wait, what? But yeah, fun game.
what
I'm-
remake or what remastered game would you like to see next?
Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the
remastered.
Wild.
Breath of the Wild remastered.
Breath of the Wild?
That's like so perfect.
On the Switch too?
Yeah, no, I was just
Call
saying
of
something
Duty.
that actually
Oh.
is coming out.
Don't they remaster that every year?
Yeah, not every year.
What would I want to see? I would want more than anything, my favorite game in history, Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh,
I
that
would
would actually be
love
sick.
that.
Oh, I mean, didn't they made like an HD version of that, right?
Well, I thought that was like some dude or like some very small team that was kind of just doing it independent. I don't
Yeah.
think it was like a...
Knights of the Old Republic was sweet.
Yeah.
It was like the one piece of Star Wars media that actually did the prequels, like the pre-prequels justice. You know, like that setting. I mean,
The
I
prequels.
well, yeah. Well, I mean, I even I still get it. I feel like it still floats around with the actual like prequel Star Wars for me, even though it's way before that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That was BioWare, right?
yeah.
That was when BioWare was
They're peaking.
elite.
They're
Elite. Dude,
peaking.
Jade Empire? Did you
Yep.
guys ever play Jade
Yep,
Empire?
sweet.
Oh.
Because they would build in these twists in the story that would just... For
Yeah.
13, 12-year-old me, however old I was at the time, it was like
Really?
earth-shattering.
They had good writing. They just,
incredible.
They just had good writing.
Oh, dude, Jade Empire. Okay, Jade Empire. There you go. I want that
Man,
one
Knights
too.
of the Old Republic is one of only 2 games I ever returned to the store. Back when you still could do that after opening it.
Dude,
There's a period of time.
I've done that one time. I've successfully did it one time too.
Because then it got to the point like if you open it, you can't return it. But the other game I did that with was Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, you mentioned this. Yeah.
Yeah,
We talked about this last week, right?
It was a few weeks ago. But
weeks
yeah,
ago.
so the other one was Knights of the Old Republic because I guess I'm just not into that type of gameplay.
It was very different.
Because I was expecting, I want to fly around like force jumping with a lightsaber and whatnot,
Yeah,
and have
not
like
bad.
the actual action.
Oh, so you're like a Darth Maul kind of kid.
So I replaced the game and I got Jedi Academy.
Yeah, that's
And
definitely
that
more
game
vibe.
I was into. That I
yeah.
loved.
Very
Yeah.
different.
But then I grew up and everyone's talking about Knights of the Old Republic being one of the best games of all time. I'm like, I missed out.
yeah.
No,
I guess some people liked Final Fantasy VII.
Jedi Outcast 2 was pretty sick.
Yeah, it was the same with Dragon Age Origins, the first one. It's like Knights of the Old Republic and Dragon Age, I started playing, and immediately my heart, because I would save up for ages to get like a game, and then I had to make my decision. And my mom was very strict. She's like, whatever you pick, like you're committing to that. And I learned from my
wow.
mistakes. It's a good lesson for kids. So the first 5 minutes, I would always make a judgment call. And the first 5 minutes of both those games, I was like, I screwed up. I just ruined the next like 2 months of my life. And then I broke through it and loved the heck out of both of them.
That's so funny.
But for me, I was saving up for The Sims. This is the first time I learned this lesson. The Sims when it first came out or whatever. And I was so excited about it, and I'd saved my pennies, and I was finally able to buy it. And my dad took me to the store, and as I was walking to go and buy The Sims, I see it for Game Boy. Turok. And
I had Turok for the Game Boy.
Oh God.
and I pivot
like Game
from
Boy
The Sims
Advance, I
on
think.
PC
Dude,
to Turok on Game Boy.
Oh God.
And I cried that night, dude.
That's
I started
so
playing it.
sad.
And I was like, and I begged him. I was like, please, I'll learn my lesson. And they said, no, you got to save up again.
Game Boy games
Devastating.
were shit.
Dude, that's brutal.
Like there was a few good ones, but that was the same thing for me too. Like my buddies, I was real young, but Mortal Kombat was sweet, and they had it out on Sega Game Gear,
Oh my God, the Game
and it was
Gear.
very faithful on the Sega Game Gear. It was a very faithful adaptation of the game, and I was like, oh, this is so sick. Guess what? Mortal Kombat was out for Game Boy. And I was like, oh shit, well here I go. And I bought it and I played it and I was like, it was the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen in my it was like literally they just rebuilt the game, but it was on a Game Boy, so it ran like ass. Like the frame rate was super low. The commands were laggy. They like changed the move sets because there were different buttons on there were only 2 buttons on the Game Boy.
Yeah.
So I had to
hilarious.
like
Oh my
I brought
God.
it back. I'm like, this game is bad.
Yeah.
Like I would like my money back. This is the worst game I've ever played.
Because the Game Boy, too.
Did it
like,
work? Did they take it?
Yeah, I think it was like one of those like things where they're like they said we can't do it, and I was like,
You start crying.
I just
begging.
but I started crying. No, but it was like one of those like, oh, this is just sad. There's just like this young child here who's disappointed and
sucks.
spent all this money on this crappy game. But they all knew it was probably crappy
Yeah.
too.
Did you guys play Republic Commando?
Yes.
No,
I
that was the
don't know.
first person shooter.
It was a first-person shooter where you played as like the clone
were, like,
commandos from Star
You
Wars
were like
and
one
the
of the
prequels.
5 of the.
Yeah, that was a fun game because that was actually it was very very similar to Call of Duty, but it was Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
But it had like that sort of like trigger aiming mechanism of that from Call of Duty and just like
Different classes, the healer and the engineer and all that stuff.
it was great. And I think I played it on the original Xbox. We're talking
Mm-hmm.
like mid 2000s, I think, before the 360.
They left it on an epic cliffhanger and then it never came back.
That's devastating.
It was not great.
Yeah, I would. So yeah, I would ask for any BioWare game back. That would be my pick. The OG days before they started like.
Yeah.
I really
botching
want
their
them to
releases.
remaster Skyrim. I don't think they've made it enough.
Because that's my first thought when I saw Oblivion was released. I thought it was Skyrim, and I said, "How many times are they going to sell me this game?" I was like, "I'm sick of buying this game." But you know, at least it's Oblivion. I haven't played that, so I honestly may pull the trigger on that before Kingdom.
Yeah, I never played Oblivion, so I'm considering.
Yeah.
But how much am I gonna play it? Truly, I don't know.
Oblivion?
I know
Yeah.
that if I got it, I'm gonna just beat it again.
Yeah.
For the like 3rd or 4th time. It's just so good. The Thieves Guild quest is so, like
Thieves Guild.
So here's the thing, Skyrim.
Thieves Guild was so good.
Here's the thing. Okay, the Thieves Guild / Murderers Assassins Guild quest line in Skyrim was the cringiest shit. Do you guys remember
Right?
that?
Oh, very well.
They're like, hey, we're all assassins. Let's hang out. And there's like the one guy who's like a clown. He's like, I'm a clown assassin. It's like, what the hell is this like edgy hot topic
I
freaking
remember that.
Skyrim crap?
Hot
It was-
topic assassins.
It was so dumb. Like it was like because it was done so well in Oblivion. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna look around. I cannot wait to get to this guild and do the sick assassination missions. But you go in there and it's like freaking Suicide Squad. Like the bad one.
The little pause after. Yeah. It's like, wait. That was a bad one.
Yeah, the bad one. Anyways, oh god.
But it's good in Oblivion.
But in Oblivion, oh my god, it is so good.
Oblivion had
Not-
some really
not
good
the Thieves
quests.
Guild, the
was the
actual-
Thieves Guild one the one that where you end in like you're having to like steal from the Emperor or something like that in the giant, and you had to get those special slippers that allowed you to take fall damage or jump really high or something like that.
Sounds
Anyway,
true or false.
Did it have a
it's-
clown guy?
It's basically canon. Yeah. Yeah. Good times. Yeah.
They were good times.
Yeah, super good times.
I'm very much so looking forward to the Switch 2 though. I believe tomorrow
Switch
is
2?
when pre-orders open up.
Again?
Wait, didn't they open
For
them
the
up
second
already?
time?
No, they haven't opened them up yet.
Oh, you just have this opportunity to like do all the work you need to prove
All the
you're
paperwork.
worthy.
That was what opened up beforehand.
Yeah, send
So
them
I-
the, you send them the passports,
To send them, yeah,
retinal
yeah.
scan,
yeah.
Socials, yeah,
birth certificats.
Yeah.
yeah, naming
But
rights
then-
to your first child.
Yeah,
and
Then
yeah.
the
you
whole
can-
like freaking tariffs thing came out, and so they're like, "All right, we're gonna put this on pause and try to figure it out." A couple weeks go by, and they're like, "All right, we're gonna actually allow pre-orders to go out. We're not changing the price on anything except for the accessories. All the accessories got more expensive, but
Right?
yeah,
Hooray.
the only game I want, Smash. That's it.
same.
I want Smash
It's the
3.
only
I'm
one.
literally gonna get the Switch 2 and still pretty much only play Smash Bros.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's not true. I'm gonna get the new Mario
Mario
Kart, of
Kart.
course.
The new Mario Kart looks cool, but
It does.
I'm very excited for the new Donkey Kong game. It looks like a sequel to Mario Odyssey. I don't know if you guys played that game.
Yes, that was a good game.
Incredible.
That
it was
a good
super
game.
cool. But I don't know. The moment I see like an open world Nintendo game,
Mm.
I get really suspicious because it's just like, it's like, dang, like, come on, where's the ideas for cool games, guys? Like, open world Mario Kart, open world Donkey
Oh,
Kong.
yeah.
You know,
I don't think Donkey Kong doesn't seem that open world. It doesn't
I
seem
know.
any more open world than Odyssey was.
Yeah. Okay.
But now, I mean, it's open in the sense that you can go through rock. It kind of feels a little bit like freaking, what's that one Star game?
Star Wars.
That's the one I'm aware of.
No, the one that they kept updating every single year for a decade.
Oh,
Star Trek. No,
Star-
Citizen.
No.
I think when you say update games, I just think of No Man's Sky.
No
I don't
Man's
know-
Sky, that's what I'm
Oh, it
talking
is.
about.
Oh,
Yeah.
heck yeah.
Oh.
No Man's Sky.
There are stars in it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, No Man's Sky was kind of fun, but it has like a really, really satisfying game mechanic where you take your laser beam and you just drill into the ground, and you can just like
just
level
keep going?
entire. Yeah, like you could technically mine an entire planet if you want.
Yeah, it's funny. They're like, here's one tool you need to use for everything, and every 60 seconds it stops working, and then you have to punch cactuses to get it to work again. I personally think No Man's Sky is one of the most torturous experiences I've ever had, and I have like 20 hours in that game because like every time they updated it, which was like, I mean, for
Every
the
year?
last decade, yeah,
Every year, yeah.
yeah, I would like, oh, maybe they've made it better now, and I go in. And it's just like nothing works. You run out of laser juice. You have to smash cactuses again to get your laser to work, to get your engine on your ship to work. But then your engine breaks, so then you have to use your laser again, and your laser runs out, and you have to smash cactuses again. And it's like everything's constantly falling apart in the game.
It's a resource management game for sure.
Exactly. And it's just I would much rather like play like Factorio if I want to manage resources. You know, it's like I don't know.
I don't know. I definitely got Minecraft vibes from it. Like it kind of has a little bit of that sort of like peaceful tedium.
I guess so.
That it's like, all right, I don't have to really think about like plot decisions here. I don't have to make decisions. I'm just gonna like hit this rock over and over again,
Just smash
and
this cactus until my mining laser
yeah.
has more. Yeah.
It's one of those games that is like it's kind of fun to relax to occasionally.
There we go. Andy knows.
He knows.
To be fair, I am. I get it.
Yeah,
Did-
I
I
know,
get
I
it.
know, I
have
know.
you guys ever played Elite Dangerous though?
That was sweet.
A little bit, yeah.
Elite Dangerous
Dangerous
in,
was
in
in
VR,
VR.
though.
See,
Yeah.
Space Trucker.
yeah, I had
The
some
game?
friends that I would play that. Yeah, legit. I could only deliver fish so many times to other galaxies or whatever the heck it was. I can't remember now. But I
other
bought I
galaxies.
bought a full setup for that game. I was like, I'm committing to like this genre of gaming for a while. So I bought the Thrustmaster, which was the most suspicious purchase of my life. Had it
Thrustmaster?
delivered to the home. I'm like, yeah,
It says
my Thrustmaster's
Thrustmaster on the
here.
outfit.
Mom, I'm going upstairs. Don't come in.
It's a personal mail device.
Mail device.
Yes,
It was
because it's
mailed
for
here.
guys who play freaking Elite Dangerous.
I mean, it's more. Yeah, it is honestly. It's a pleasure device of sorts. So
It's a pleasure device. The Thrustmaster.
don't come in.
Dude, I still think my favorite game, if I could replay a game over again, Outer Wilds.
I haven't
Yeah,
played
that's
that.
good.
It's another like peaceful like space simulation type game, but it's a miniaturized version where it's like every planet is like 1 or 2 miles in diameter.
Oh.
But it has all the like physics. It's very, very physics based.
Huh.
And you're in like a little spaceship. You have to go to all these different planets to kind of
Yeah.
figure out stuff going on. And after about 20 minutes or so, the sun explodes.
Oh, she
and
got
you
burst
die.
out punching cactus.
And then you wake up again at the start of the game. So I think it's like every 23 minutes, the entire level resets and you're back at the beginning. And if you die, you go back to the beginning. And
Yeah.
so it's a game about trying to figure out what happened to the society and the worlds.
You're basically trying to figure out what the heck the supernova is and what's going on. And yeah.
And the only thing that carries through are the things you discover.
Interesting.
So it's like there's this comet that's coming in. You eventually get to a point where you can land on the comet, and when the comet gets close enough to the sun, it starts melting a little bit, and it opens up a cave that you can then go down into the comet and find some old explorers that are there.
See-
And then you get trapped in there and you die, but you discovered some things while you're there, and that goes into your journal. So then you can explore other planets and eventually get to a point where you figure out what happened.
This is the genius, and we're talking about game optimization. It's not just the assets, also the story, and it's what Dark Souls does so well.
Yeah.
Killing you over and over and making
David
you
M says,
replay.
spoiler alert. Yeah, major spoiler alert. If you haven't played Outer
yeah.
Wilds,
It
there
was
you
a
go.
minor spoiler. Sometimes I
Post-mortem
believe
spoiler
in
alert.
minor spoilers to get people
On board with the
interested.
game.
Did get me interested, but it's like the idea of killing you over and over and making you relive certain moments in the game just stretches out your experience without any additional work by the devs.
Yeah.
It's like he's gonna replay this boss fight over and over
Yeah.
and over and
Yep,
over,
yep.
and it takes no extra work. It's genius. It's so genius.
But the downside to Outer Wilds is that it doesn't really have a whole lot of replay value because the game progression is your knowledge.
It's a murder mystery, basically. of
Yeah, and
sorts,
so it's
where
like if you
once
go
know,
into the game knowing who killed who,
it's like
you're like,
eh.
all right, well, I know.
Which
who-
also
I
makes
know
it
who ki-"
incredibly difficult to pick up if you pause it.
Very true.
Which,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, that happened
I
to me.
did that once.
I got about 2/3 of the way through it, and then I just wasn't able to play it anymore. And so I tried to play it again last year because we've been talking about it. And I was just like, I don't remember all the stuff that I need to know to keep playing this game. Like I'd have to restart it basically.
And that's what I ended up doing.
Because like you have your journal, but like even your
context.
journal doesn't even have like the information. It's the understanding of the context of everything that's been happening in the world that leads you to each discovery.
The
So it's very
DLC for
crazy.
Outer Wilds was really, really cool because that was like you basically go to this Halo world, which is pretty sick.
Sick.
Anyway,
There's a
but
lot
again,
of
it's a
incredible
game you
stuff.
can't really replay. So if there's a game that I could like go back and play over without remembering anything from it, it'd be that game.
All right, the next big budget game adaptation starring Jack Black and Kevin Hart, and what is it going to be?
Oh, dude.
No,
chicken
besides
jockey,
Jumanji.
bro.
I'm just saying them.
Imagine.
Well, it's going to have Jack Black in it for sure. Apparently.
Dude, can you imagine
What
how
is it going to be the
happy-
No Man's Sky movie with Jack Black and then Chris Pratt as like a silly sidekick?
I'm pivoting a little bit because I want to talk about this
Or is it
chicken
no?
jockey thing.
My Neighbor Totoro. It's specific. Sorry, we were talking about this.
Neighbor
It's the
Totoro.
live action My Neighbor Totoro. We thought Kevin Hart was going to voice Totoro. It's probably going to be Jack Black
It's
voicing
gonna be
Totoro.
Jack Black. Now it is for sure.
So have you guys seen the Minecraft movie yet?
Not yet.
For
Me
how
neither.
much we dunked on it, I thought I would have seen it by now.
Yeah,
but I'm just glad I
Did we
didn't get
do- I mean,
rained
I guess
on.
we did kind of dunk on it.
I just didn't get-
I'm very intrigued to see it. I'm interested, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to make it to theaters. Can you imagine how happy the marketers for that movie were when it turned into an organic viral meme of this one moment in the movie happening, and then everyone freaks out throws their popcorn all over this stupid little chicken jockey.
They love it. And that's
you
actually why I
imagine-
haven't seen it yet in theaters. I just don't want to face
Wow.
that.
I don't want to deal with this.
I don't want to deal with that. I'll wait till it's on streaming.
We'll just go to the Alamo Draft House specifically, where there's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a little bit of like,
Yeah.
you know,
Kids don't go there.
decorum.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
that
Because it's like, that's the sort of, you know how you can never expect views on YouTube? There's not really a correlation between how hard you work on a video and how many views it gets. It's just whether or not it works. And so sometimes you put out a video and it's viral and you're like, yay, didn't see that coming, but great. I feel like this was kind of that for the Minecraft movie, where they're like,
Yeah.
I hope people like this, and suddenly there's this one thing that makes everyone freak out over it, and now it becomes a cultural phenomenon for kids, and they're like, we just struck gold.
Yeah.
I think there's a
Hell
safe bet.
yeah.
I think there's a safe bet the movie is going to do well.
Well, sure.
But then you get-
I
then you get that
agree,
spark.
I agree. But I don't think anyone saw that one moment becoming the cultural icon.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah, you never know. It was the best news in the world for the marketers and the worst news in the world for the ushers of theaters.
Yep.
Worldwide.
Not the theaters, just the ushers.
Just the ushers.
That's the
yeah,
people
sorry, ushers
going
for
to having to-
theaters.
Having to
worldwide.
clean it.
Because that was a role that I played for a good little stint. You know, I did like 3 or 4 months.
Sweeping floors of a movie
Of,
theater.
of like the usher, and it is brutal, man. The things you find under those seats.
Tell me.
Yeah,
It's
tell me more.
okay.
All right,
it's-
what was the theater chain?
the theater chain was Regal. Regal?
You were a Regal, yes.
I think it was
Yeah.
Regal. And yeah, I mean, obviously everyone's caking the floor with popcorn. That is such a weird default behavior, by the way, to just like throw popcorn on the floor. But whatever, I got used to it.
Sometimes it's
you
a
hit all the
spill.
aisles.
Sometimes what? I mean,
Yeah.
you're sitting there.
There's
you got the
79
bucket of
spills at
popcorn,
the
and
end.
you're just. How do you eat popcorn? You take a whole fistful
Pour it in the frick-
and you try and shove it in your mouth, and you basically. I mean, what you admit you're guaranteed to lose about 50% of the popcorn kernels you try and shove in your mouth.
I hate
All
how
right?
accurate that is.
You're like and then like half of them fall,
Yeah.
but it's okay. That's why they give you a big bucket.
It's crazy because you're so right. I
And then you
wear
run out
half
of
my
popcorn.
Yeah, it's
and
true.
It's pitch black in the theater. You're out of popcorn, out of the bucket, and you're like, wait a second. And there's one
I
here.
found more.
And there's one here. Oh, there's some here. And it's like you still have like the reserves.
Yeah, but you'll find other like popcorn's one thing, and that's easy enough. We can sweep that up, no problem. But then you start going aisle to aisle, and then you start to find like foreign objects, like on the
Foreign objects.
you'll find you start to find
Damn,
foreign
this
objects.
is the most like surgical description.
Like there, I mean, on the less weird end of the spectrum, there's like
Yeah, that's a great
coconuts
place
with
to
drill
start.
holes.
Coconuts.
Obviously,
with,
they were drinking through straws, and they drilled
Sure.
some holes in their coconuts. That's fine. I don't mind your
wait,
coconuts
what?
with drill holes.
Wait, they they sneak in coconuts.
They sneak in coconuts. That's a thing. And then on the
Sneaking in
far
a-
end of the
it's
spectrum,
like a whole coconut. Do they sell like plugs for coconuts so you can travel with them? You know what I'm saying?
It's a good question, yeah.
It implies they've pre-drilled the coconut at home. They
Yeah.
didn't drill it in the
they
theater.
wouldn't have drilled it in the theater.
Yeah,
No, they
but
sneak in the drill as well.
They sneak in the drill.
During the opening trailer's like,
Because once you pop a coconut, you're committed.
Yeah,
You're
well,
not
unless you have a
stopping.
cocoa
I
plug.
mean, you can plug it. Yeah,
Unless you have a
cocoa
cocoa
plug.
Unless you got cocoa plugs. That way you pre-drill it, plug it,
Going cuckoo for
throw
cocoa
that
plugs.
coconut in your backpack. No mess.
That's so funny. But yeah, so you'll find that on the bottom end of the weird spectrum.
Okay.
But then like my worst moment, I had a few bad moments here, but my worst moment was walking into the aisle and I see, bunched up napkins. So I think, oh, someone just like, wiped their face a lot and then just curled it up and dropped it into their seat. So I go to just pick it up. I'm not wearing gloves or anything. I'm just barehanded boy here. And I lift it up.
Barehanded boy.
I lift it up and it's like loosely packed. So it kind of unfolds in my hand.
Stop.
And let's just say a baby had been there.
Oh, diaper?
It was just a diaperless dump. It was
Oh my goodness.
yeah. And I was just holding it in shock, going,
diaperless? A diaperless? That's so...
and I was holding it going
Go to
after.
the fucking bathroom.
I know.
Go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom.
And I'm holding it, Sam, and I'm thinking, after tax, I made $6 for this hour. Just holding this baby poop. I'm like, this can't be it. This can't be the end.
That is
So yeah, it's
Someone mentioned, I forget, it's already scrolled past. Can you find it? They said they found a coffee cup filled with human hair.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was Andy Leak.
Were they trying to grow something?
What?
Like, what were they going for?
That's so weird.
They probably just had pulled out a bunch of hair and was like, I don't know where to put this. I guess I'll put it in my coffee cup.
Pulled out
I
a
love
bunch
that
of hair.
explanation. Like, it's so logical.
Yeah,
They
just
probably
pulled out
just
a bunch
pulled
of
out a
hair.
bunch of hair and gone, I don't know, put it in my coffee
No,
cup.
that happens. People lose hair.
Yeah. It was Ren,
Like,
by the
comes
way.
out-
Ren
yeah.
is responsible for the coffee
Speaking
cup.
from experience.
Yeah, it's, dude, the life of an
Whole
usher
chicken
is...
carcass?
Is he eating a rotisserie chicken in the theater?
Oh yeah, that's probably what it is. You sneak in a whole rotisserie chicken.
And just
I-
go to town.
I like to sneak in Taco Bell. That's the best one.
That's not bad.
You get those burritos in there, you know, in a fanny pack.
Yeah.
And then you just load up.
Fanny
You
Yeah,
just
that makes sense.
chow down. But yeah, there's some awful stuff. They did once want me to start, because here's the thing: when you're an usher,
Wait.
Which one?
what did you see?
A couple brought their baby. Oh, he said someone snuck in a baby.
Someone,
Neil's
wait,
ref says,
aren't they
well,
allowed?
Well, I just.
"Well,
Are they not
I'm just
allowed?
saying brought him to
I guess
20
that depends. Did they
I
get
think
a
he's just
ticket
talking
for
about
the
the
baby?
movie.
Because if they didn't, then yeah, they're sneaking a whole
I
baby
think you're
in."
just talking about the movie they
Raw,
brought him
their
to.
baby.
Yeah, 28 years later.
Crazy.
I haven't seen the newest trailer for it, but I saw the trailer that came out last year and it looked pretty sick.
Oh my word!
Are we
It
pivoting?
looks dope.
to
It
that?
looks dope.
I mean,
They-
we're still talking about theater stuff.
They filmed
Well-
it on an iPhone.
I heard, yeah.
Did
What
they
the
really?
heck?
No,
But-
the whole movie.
Because it's Apple.
But the thing, yeah,
That's like a scene.
Apple.
No.
is-
Apple
Apple's
funded-
funding it.
Apple funded it, and Nick was
App-
telling me that they shot it all
Can
on
can we
iPhones.
verify that?
Yeah.
This
So
sounds-
it's hilarious because it's
I
the
believe
classic.
it. No, I heard this too.
It's like we're filming it on iPhones, and then you look at the rigs and you're like,
Did
why?
you?
Why would
Let
we
me
do?
see.
Why would you do that?
Primarily using an iPhone.
Yeah.
15
Okay. iPhone Pro Max. Yeah, but
Because this is my thing. Is like they're gonna soup
They
it
didn't
up.
let that render long enough.
that's a hilarious.
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
that's like a 2 sample render right
Well,
there.
hold on. No, that's actually kind of like sick though, stylized.
Wait, are
Like,
people
you
seeing
think
this,
about
Christian?
that? Like
okay.
set your samples to 1 is
Just for
as
the
the
look?
aesthetic.
Show them this render of this camera.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah,
heck? Wait,
that's-
zoom in on that.
bizarre.
But okay, and once you're done with
Okay.
that,
The
go to
background
other-
looks
The
fantastic.
background is great, but what? Okay, so this is what it looks like when you render something in Octane Render, but you only let it sample like 3 times.
Yeah.
When normally you sample it for like at least 1,000.
Well, that's an aesthetic. It's the new aesthetic.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Just
shooting
like
on
people,
log
how
and
are
not
gonna-
correcting it.
Yeah, or like using Midjourney V1. You know. Oh, here, zoom into the camera on the right side of screen there on that image. There it is. That's what their cameras look like.
I mean, it's an iPhone, but
It's an
there's a
iPhone
lot
shooting on like
going
crazy expensive glass.
Yes, well,
Probably
it's-
anamorphic.
See, this is like hilarious. Like, I'm down for the whole like, hey, I filmed this on an iPhone, but then the moment you just
Yeah.
do that, it's like
There's no point.
you really defeating the point.
Yeah.
Like, it just
Like
makes,
I'm gonna run around with that
we
in my
filmed it on
pocket.
It's like it doesn't matter anymore that you filmed it on an iPhone because the iPhone is such a minuscule part of the camera process now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still the whole sensor.
It's like, okay,
so filmed on an iPhone sensor.
And technically the iPhone glass as well.
Yeah,
I guess so.
yeah. Technically,
final element
that's
of
the
the
final piece
lens.
of glass. They probably removed it.
Okay.
Because that's the thing, yeah. If you get like a custom souped up camera, I wouldn't be surprised if they even souped up the phone too, just for the shoot.
yeah, it's weird. It's a really weird thing, and like, yeah, it's
Well, it's marketing, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
just
purely that. It's not.
but it's
'cause
like the
easier.
most like, yeah, it's the most empty marketing too. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're just like, well, when you say a movie is shot on a phone, it implies that it's somehow more accessible. But when you do that to your
Well,
phone, it's
yeah.
the complete opposite of that.
I think the idea there is that you're not gonna Google the picture. I think they're hoping you'll just go, "Oh, sick," and move on with your life.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, once you see it, it's like okay, and this insanely expensive glass. But
So-
it looks good.
Yesterday, Insta360 just dropped their new camera, the X5. And we made a quick little video about it where basically the coolest feature on the new camera is that you can actually finally replace the lenses themselves. So if you scratch it, you break the lens or something, you can just replace the lens on your own, which was never a thing beforehand because the lenses are so integrated into the body that it wasn't ever really possible.
Oh, let's just see a video of Ren doing that.
This was a great video, by the way.
Dang, got a lot of views in the last day.
This is
Anyway, and so me and about a million other creators all basically made the same video and dropped it yesterday. Everyone else is like, oh, I'm going to scratch the lens. Oh, I'm going to break the lens too.
That's so funny.
And it's like, I think all of us independently didn't realize we were all doing that.
That's so
because
funny.
there's an embargo, so we couldn't upload the video until yesterday.
So everyone uploaded same time.
Yeah.
And it's the same. It's the same video.
It's everyone basically just taking their camera and being like, "Oh, I'm gonna scratch the lens, but record the POV of doing that, and then replace it." To be fair, it's a legitimately very cool feature of the camera. But yeah, it was just one of those things. I was like, "Oh, I guess everyone
internet
else
was
is doing
inundated.
that too."
Yeah, so I saw this comment. So far, this is the best Insta360 sponsored video about the new replaceable lens I've seen today. And that did trigger me. I was like, wait, are there multiple? So, but I didn't
there
know.
Are a lot. I saw at least
so
like
funny.
6 or 7 others yesterday.
That's incredible.
Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah.
They're all over.
Because again, the embargo lifted. But the other cool thing about the new camera is that like it's got super super good low light. Oh yeah, he's probably gonna replace the lens here because he scratched it. We made a whole video last year about trying to launch one of these cameras out of a Canon, and I destroyed like 4 of those cameras.
Yes, we did.
And so it would have been a little nice if I could just like replace the lens because the rest of the camera was fine on some of those. But what I found particularly interesting, we're talking about like shooting iPhones through like a crazy piece of glass, right? If you remove the 360 lens from the camera, it suddenly becomes a macro lens.
Oh.
Because there's 2 lenses on them. There's the internal lens, which is focused at the focal point right outside of the dome lens. Because if you remember from my moon video last year, the focal point of a sphere is basically right off of its surface. So if you have a lens inside of that sphere trying to focus on everything outside of it, you need to focus on that point. So basically what that means is that when you take that lens off, the focal point of the camera is like less than an inch away from the
Well, yeah,
the camera
you're right. No,
itself.
because I was thinking about that when in that very first shot when it's broken, the glass is so sharp.
And in particular here, if you go forward to the point where you
Right,
see
like there, in that previous moment, right there where it's zooming out of the crack. Like I was like, wait a second, whoa, that's like really sharp for like something that close.
Keep playing, Christian. Go to where I have my eye directly in front of it. It's basically like right here in half a second. So my eye is literally like maybe a half centimeter away from the glass. Like I felt like I was wearing the camera like an eye patch. It was so close to my eyeball.
That's
and
crazy.
because of it, my eye was in incredible focus. So I'm like, I'm just thinking this could be a really interesting way to get some interesting footage. If you want to get like super wide angle macro photography, just take the lens off of the new 360 camera.
You're right. No,
right
like
up against
seriously,
a cool
pop
idea.
the lenses off and then go film like an anthill or something.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah,
And
I think that's
then you'll have
really
360
cool.
footage of an anthill. Yeah, that's crazy. That would look pretty sweet.
Seems like such a thin field of focus too. It's like the glass that's just inside is out of focus again. It's like just right there.
Yeah.
I love the ASMR aspects of the video though.
Yeah, that was the other thing, is that we recorded this on Monday, and I edited it over the course of like Monday evening and then Tuesday morning, put it out yesterday. I was going to put like a music track on it, just because that's like what you do for videos like this, have like some music playing in the background, but I kind of liked the sounds that were in the video, like the hammer hitting the glass made a nice little like ting, and then like the little like blower going. I was like, I kind of like these sounds. I'm not going to put music on it.
Yeah. Whose idea was it for everyone to be so aggressive in the beginning with their arms crossed?
That was me. I was like, who wants to come see me break a lens? And then like a lot of people showed up. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Okay. I guess look mean, everyone.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I was really happy with how this video came out. I always say this. It's like, if I had the choice, I would only make YouTube Shorts.
And why is that?
It's something about the 1 minute format. Now, granted, I know YouTube Shorts can be like upwards of 3 minutes now, but I love the constraint of trying to make a whole video in less than a minute. You'd be surprised how hard it is, especially if you're trying to make like a complex idea. I love the limitations of the format. I like being able to just like throw some stuff together, edit it together, and then you have like a fun little video, especially if it loops.
Yeah.
I'm all about looping videos.
Yeah.
Granted, this Insta360 one kind of loops. It's a rough loop. Technically, the loop point of the video is flawless because it's literally just like the video clip I spliced and put the beginning of it at the end of the video. It's a bit of a cheat, but yeah, it's like I always put so much effort and time into like these scale videos to make sure like they're nice and fleshed out so that they can be like 15 minutes long, and they take so much time to research and write and then like outline all that stuff. Whereas like I could just take one of those concepts from the video and really like try to put my all into that one little concept. I don't have to worry about the intro or outro or all these through lines or all these other connected points. It's just like just this one concept and just explore this one concept.
That's what,
and then that'd be great.
That's what Vsauce does so well.
Yeah, dude.
He has like mastered that. Like,
And that's
concept
exactly what
explained.
he's fully pivoted to. Because back in the day when Vsauce got huge, he would do exactly that. He'd make these 10+ minute videos where he'd start with a concept, usually like the question of the title of the video, and then go on like 1,000 different tangents, and then come back around to the original idea at the end of the video, and that would be the video. And now he's just like, I'm just gonna make YouTube shorts all the time, and he's gonna talk about this one thing for a bit, and then like at the end of the short, just kind of stare at the camera, and then go, and like hit the record button, or turn it off.
So good.
Always like breaks character in the last like half second of the video.
I
He does that
love
very
it.
intentionally. It's hilarious.
I love it so much, and and it gets crazy views. Like his shorts go
Yeah.
mega viral.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the shorts game
The
is
problem
crazy.
with shorts is that there's just not that money in shorts, so I
Unless
can't justify doing
You
it.
make them every single day.
Unless you make them every day, which is the other thing, is that like I wish I could put a little bit more time than a single day into a short.
But
Yeah,
even
well-
if you make them
But
every
I don't want
day-
to put more than like say 2 days.
Yeah, but like even if you make them every day, what are you taking home on a million view short?
1 million views? Not a couple $100 maybe.
A couple hundred? Would it be that high?
It's enough to
I'm
survive.
actually surprised it's that high.
It's enough to
Yeah,
survive.
it would be less than. I mean, it depends. It
I mean,
depends.
you know, like if you're getting 1 million a day, then you get to still open it up into the whole world of brand deals and sponsor stuff. Still,
that's true, that's
like
true.
like it. Yeah. So
Because
Okay, that got
like that. Like,
Wait, how many dollars was
That was limited.
that got
was
limited.
Right,
because
right,
that
right,
would
right.
have been
thanks for
nuts.
changing it to party booger, not cocaine booger.
Party
yeah, the
booger.
cocaine booger story got limited.
Okay, so this
okay, so
video
like 100.
has how many views total?
4.1 million.
Oh, right.
And
These are
it
the
made
two Jim
$475.
So it's got 4 million views for a little over $400.
So it's like $100 per minute.
Yeah,
a million
yeah. So it's
views.
like you get 1 million views. Congrats. That also is about $100.
$100. So
You'd have to be pumping them out.
I mean,
Yeah, but once again, that's not the right YouTube metric. That's just the baseline. Because
Sure,
once
pure
again,
ad revenue.
in our economy,
Brands.
people are the product. You know, by getting 4.1 million views, you can
can
offer that
sponsor.
product of eyeballs to a sponsorship or work with brands to make money. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, our Insta360 thing was a sponsored video. They paid us to put out that video. So at the end of the day, it kind of doesn't matter if the video
Yeah.
makes any money because
Yeah, it's
we were
crazy because
already
they
paid.
paid us like $1 million to do that, and it totally makes up for the fact that the short only made like $40.
so I made $1,040,000.
But yeah, I guess that's where I'm getting is that like I would love to just make shorts, but
Joke School.
the money is at least ad revenue is mostly in the long form content, and so that's where most of my time is spent. It's hard to justify the time spent on shorts. So we actually have a guy helping us with shorts, and we're just straight up splitting the ad revenue with him.
Great.
Yeah.
That's
been
great.
That's been awesome.
Yeah,
put
it's
on a lot.
it's a great way to do it.
Because it does feel like a good vein through which you can get additional viewers for the main videos.
Because that is the advantage of shorts at the end of the day is that like they are booming in popularity, and
it's
so
just
you
channel
it's
health
it's
in
very
general.
easy to get a bunch of new viewers
Yeah, like our views are up like
to
crazy.
expand your. Hey, there's Renee.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that's the thing, like, so it's funny, it shows like, oh, we have more views on the channel now, but they count the shorts views with your analytics for your
Yeah.
overall views, which is totally like that is just
It's definitely.
it's
hard.
wrong. That's wrong.
Yeah.
They're,
that doesn't count.
They said they're splitting them up.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
good.
should
2
split that
months,
up.
I think.
That's
I
good.
think
Because that does kind of like
Yeah, there's
confuse things. It makes things feel a little disingenuous.
Yeah, it's like,
there's
oh
a-
wow, everything's my channel's way healthier. We're getting way more views, yet everything else is going down. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah, they said they're gonna be updating Shorts analytics
Okay.
in the upcoming months. So
I'm excited about this satisfying render we just started.
just kicked one off.
We kicked it off yesterday. We have a special guest, Nude Robot,
Nude robot.
on Instagram. He's
Not
got,
to be confused
I want
with
to say like
Nutane.
400 some thousand followers.
Yeah.
His name's Sam. We got another Sam in here.
Yep.
I mean, he makes a bunch of like weird,
I like
weird looking videos.
Sam, you like the
like-
extra limbs,
I like
right?
that one a lot, where he turns himself into the Dune creepy spider.
You gotta log in. I like Skin Horse, man. That
Skin Horse.
all the loose skin stuff he does is my favorite. It's
quite
such a.
He does a
trip.
lot of like Houdini simulations
Yeah.
and just, you know, you'll 3D track something and then like just simulate a bunch of stuff attached to that thing.
Yeah.
It's a style that he's been doing for years now. I first started talking with him back in like 2019.
Oh, cool.
But I didn't realize he literally just has lived down the street from us for the last 8 years.
Oh my gosh.
And he just moved recently. I won't say where, but it was kind of a funny street he now lives on. And so, but he hit me up over the weekend about that. And I was like, actually, we need a guest for this satisfying render. Are you down to come in? He's like, yeah, I'll be there. I was like,
That's
sick. All right,
sick.
hell yeah.
I do love that we've been adding like guest artists.
I do
on
too.
The
It's
Satisfying
great.
Renders.
It's
it
great.
adds a unique additional like element, and because a lot of the renders that we do, they're not the same renders, but they're similar in style. Like I could point out whose is whose just aesthetically.
Of course.
So it is cool to get like a unique visual voice in every single one, to shake it up a little bit. But he was great on camera. Like we did our kickoff yesterday, and he was totally a natural on
Yeah.
camera. And I was like, "That's so cool."
Apparently, he's got an acting background.
I heard him say it. I was like, "Oh, it makes a lot of sense." He was
but
very, very comfortable.
he started up the Instagram account doing effects and whatnot, and that got popular. So he's like, I guess I'll just double down on this and keep doing this.
How cool. I love it. Yeah.
But yeah,
that'll
so
be
it's
good.
like, you know, I've been busy with all these random projects over the last couple months that I haven't really been able to like focus in on like a VFX project other than like the last satisfying render we did. But that was like the end of January that we did that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get back into that.
Yeah, I love the satisfying renders. And I, you know, a little bit of a teaser here for the video, but I had committed to an idea and I dove fully into that idea. And after a full day of just like grinding on this thing, I had to step back and I looked at it and I was like, this sucks. This is so
Oh,
bad.
man.
So I fully pivoted on my idea. I feel way better about my new one. But yeah.
It can feel real bad sometimes
Yeah.
when you do that because you're just like, I just wasted time. But it's not really wasted time. It's informed time.
Exactly.
You're now like, it's an informed experience that you could learn from and take that and be like, okay, I now know specifically why this wasn't working or how this wasn't working. And you're not going to do that for your pivot.
Yeah.
It's
And-
like how sometimes when a project file like crashes and you lose the project and you haven't saved in a while and you're like, it hurts so bad. And then you have to redo that work. And then you look back and I was like, that was actually a good thing because I did it better.
It's way better. Yeah, yeah. That's the only thing that can make it worth it is if you make something better as a result from
Yeah.
it. So that's what I've been focused on. But Kinetic Aesthetic says it would be cool if some of the winners from Clint's challenges come and guest as VFX.
So the challenge there is that we need them here in person.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
it's kind of hard to do it like long distance.
Yeah,
We've
we
done it
could do
before.
Yeah,
and
it's not really the vibe.
It's not
Like
the vibe,
it's
yeah.
nice to at least have everyone be in the same room when we're like talking about it. Like I mean, also that's I think what sets the stuff we do apart. It's you know we have
It's social.
We have a little bit of the more social version of that stuff. So yeah,
But that being said, there are thousands of people who
That being said,
submit work to Clint's stuff.
there are
And
thousands
some
of
of them
them.
live here in LA.
Yeah, it's
And-
true.
Sure we could find
yeah, they're all really really good.
But the other part of that is that like ideally they're also good on camera.
Yeah.
That's another thing that like we don't often talk about when like hiring here for Quarter. Like you, for instance. Do you know the thing that got you the job here?
I would imagine my immense skill. No.
Yeah,
Well, that was part of it. You got into the top 5 just on your VFX reel.
Wow, did I really? Oh, wow. That's cool.
But the thing that kind of like made you stand out inside of your reel was your dancing montage.
Yes. You know what's funny? And you know what's really
remember
funny? So when I before I did VFX, I did directing. And I decided to open up VFX as a branch of money making for me in the freelance world.
Okay.
For like when directing seasons were dry. So I was like, what can I do to make a VFX reel? Oh, I'll use all the stuff that I did for my directing stuff because I would use it to save money, and I'll make a reel out of that. And I put together the reel, and just like technically not that impressive of a reel. There's just much better artists out there. So I was like, okay, it's not the best, but maybe I can like make it me a little bit. So from an old project of me dancing with my friend Brandon Toy, I took some of those clips and I spliced it in to give it some life in the reel, not knowing if it would even work. But my friend hit me up one day on Facebook and he's like, hey, heads up, dude, I posted your reel on a Facebook post to see if I could get you a job. And I was like, thanks so much, man. So I like head over to take a look at it. And it's a producer who had posted on Facebook, and they're like, I have a big name artist who needs some help for a music video on set.
Oh, that's
like,
funny.
post your links. So I started going through everyone else's links, and they're just dunking on me, dude. Way better. Like, just killing me. And I was looking at my
like they're talking shit?
No. Their reel
reels.
dunked on my reel. Like,
Okay, I see.
the quality of their work was so superior. And I thought, I literally messaged my friend. I was like, well, thank you for the thought. And like left it. And I was like, it's not going to happen. And I get a phone call from that producer saying, are you available tomorrow? Can you do X, Y, and Z? And the answers were no to all of those, but I said yes to all of those. And I was like, I'm going to learn it all tonight. And she's like, great, because we have a music video coming up for Miley Cyrus tomorrow morning, and we need you on set.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what the heck? That's crazy. So went to set. It was real. I wasn't like mugged or anything. So I was like, okay, this is good. And, performed my task that I just learned the night before. And everything went really well. I was like very on it that day. Wow. And then I talked to her afterwards, like, full transparency. Why did you
Call me.
pick me? Just out of wondering. Because we'd built a rapport over the day. I was like, why did you pick me? And she's very candid. She's like, oh, you look like fun to work with. I like the dancing. So it got me my first job, and then I stuck Miley's face from the video at the very front of the reel to like validate it, and then it started my whole career. And like I kept adding faces as we were going, and so to hear that is also responsible for this is like
That's so funny.
the coolest thing in the world.
Because
That's
when
so funny.
like here at Corridor, you're not only a VFX artist or an editor or a filmmaker and all that. You also have to be a personality. It's like you have to have a little bit of that charisma that shows up on camera, and that's not an easy thing to sort of test for through an application.
Yeah.
And so you had demonstrated a lot of like cool stuff in your reel, but like it was palpable that like, oh, you seem fun. And that Nico was the first to pick up on that. I'll be honest. Like he was like, oh, there's something about this guy.
Something with the way he dances.
Just something about the way that body moves.
He's got the moves.
And then of course like we did the whole thing where we had people come in and test out for the job, and we had like 4 guys come in, and you were the one who ended up landing the job, because that was when we did the Clint render, which we did a whole VFX Artist React with Clint last week, and we looked at a lot of the render challenges that he's done over the years, and of course we talked about the one that you and I participated in back in the early days.
That was almost 4 years ago.
That's crazy.
So time is
almost 4 years
zooming
ago. Like,
on by. Yeah.
that was the end of 2021.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so. So yeah, time is zipping on by, but
Dang.
no, it's cool, man. It's like it's a cool validation that, trying to be a pleasant person to be around and like focusing on like that side is just as valuable as developing the technical side. Because at the end of the day, it makes sense from like a hiring perspective. I would want to be with someone who was like, at least pleasant to be around, like, because on those sets in particular, and that was the toughest part for freelance for me, was on set as an army of one for the VFX side for these music videos, the vibe, like the director dictates the vibe, but so many of the vibes were just incredibly heavy and negative, like a lot of grumping and moaning and complaining about, oh, I'm working too hard, and that vibe was palpable, and it started to actually like affect me on set.
Whoa.
And so what was so wonderful in a cosmic sense was that my worst day on set, I won't even say who it was with, but it's the only artist I've ever blacklisted. Not like that has power. I'm like, I'm not going to accept your call anymore. But the only artist I ever
really wanna
blacklisted.
know now.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you off camera. But the only artist I ever blacklisted, I was on set that day, and I was having a full-blown like, I'm done, dude. I'm sick of this. Like, I can't take this anymore. That's the day I get a message from Jake saying you're a finalist.
That's funny.
And I did talk about this on React, so I won't rehash it here because that'll be coming out soon. But yeah, Jake's message was worded in such a way that I thought I got the job. I thought we can bring it back up if we need to. But he basically said, you got the job. Come on in for a week in house and see if you like it. See if it's like for you. So I told everybody that I got the job, like all my friends and stuff. I'm like, it's happening. I can't believe it. It's happening. Only to find out in the Monday morning meeting, nah, dude, you're still competing. We're having people in every week.
Oh, that's
Someone said
sad.
like, "Oh yeah, you're more fun than the other guy."
Maybe
Like,
I think
what
that was,
other guy?
maybe, that was probably our mistake, honestly, in retrospect.
It was so funny. I've never had like a spike of adrenaline like that. I was like, yeah, it was a true gulp moment. But you know what? It was great, and it's been awesome. So yeah, I'm still glad to be here.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, I think it's about time to wrap this up.
Wrapping it up.
You guys ready for the after show?
Guys-
QuarterDigital.com subscribers. If you're not on there, you're gonna be missing out because we're gonna hang out for another few minutes here, answer some questions, talk to the chat, and outside of that, we'll see you next week. I will ideally be here again. I missed out on the last couple podcasts. I was bummed to miss out on the Face Melt podcast.
Very specifically, QuarterDigital.store. If you want to support us, I mean, if you don't want to get a subscription on the website, QuarterDigital.store, check out that new VFX artist shirt. It's sick.
It is sick.
Also, you can just get the subscription and save 15% on any merch.
It's worth it.
It's worth it.
You'll literally like
The
save
discount you
yourself
get on the
multiple
merch
months of
is
subscriptions
pays
just
for
through
the
discount.
subscription. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Subscription's essentially free if you were going to get a shirt.
And if you're gonna get a shirt, subscribe first, buy the shirt.
With the discount code.
Do your best to remember to unsubscribe, or maybe just get swept away in the amazing content we have on the website.
We do have consistent vlogs coming out that are really fun. And they're coming out like every week.
And more stuff.
And they're current, unlike Crew Cuts, where we're still wearing masks in 2025.
That's so.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Till next time.
Also,
After show
yeah,
begins. 3,
Yeah, I'm a VFX
2,
artist, React viewer
1.
for another week.
Ending.
Bye.